Hello guys, how are you doing? I'm Santiago I'm speaking Spanish now. Sorry, I messed it up. I'll be answering your questions now. So just put in the chat and I will start reading and answering as much as I can. I hope you're doing all right. Yes, HSR World, you're first once again, as you always are. I'm kind of impressed actually. 5 videos in a row. Hi. I'm going to answer this in Spanish. Bruno Miguel, por $600, no sé en qué país estás. Si estás en Argentina, capaz que te da para un Pentium, una 1050 Ti con 8 GB de RAM. Hi Tech Buddy, how are you doing? Red Shooter, ¿cómo estás? Red Shooter. Siddharth Sri Kumar, yo, what's up? $700, sí, capaz que un Pentium y una RX 570. Which headphones am I using? I'm using the HyperX Cloud 2s. They are very comfy. Is the 1050 Ti good? Yes, but if you have a good enough power supply, I would recommend an RX 470 or 570. Those are more powerful GPUs, but they require more power. And they are similar in price. You're from Portugal. Nice to meet you. I'm from Uruguay. Ryzen 1600 or 1600X. I would just go for the 1600. You can overclock it and reach 1600X performance quite easily with an AB350 motherboard. Hi, an orange with a wig. How are you doing? And Tech Luna. No, Tech Tuna. I'm sorry. Can you tell me what get better? G4560, Asus 1050 Ti, Strix, or MSI? I mean, it isn't that much different between the companies in that case, since it's pretty much the same GPU. It's actually the same GPU, just with some different touches from each company. I will go with the one with the best cooling or the higher clock speed. There will be pretty much the same overall. GTX 1063GB versus 570, 580. I would say a 580 will be better, yeah. It depends on the game, but most of the time it should be better, the 580 on most games. GT 1030 or RX 460. RX 460 will be better. 570, 580, is it worth 50 more? I'm not sure. I mean, the difference... A 570 is pretty much an RX 480 if you overclock the 570. So I will pretty much go for the 570, it's better price performance, but the other one will be like 10 FPS more for the 580 on some games. HD 5850 or GTX 550, whoa, I don't remember that, so I'm sorry, I cannot answer that. G4600, GTX 1050 Asus Strix and 8 gigs of RAM, can I play the latest titles medium 1080p? Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I make videos on that, so you can check my videos. You get pretty much the ssame performance as my 1050 2GB videos. Oh man, that's so quick. So many questions. I'm sorry, guys. Hang on a second. Your English has become pretty amazing. Thank you. Have you watched E3? Yes, I did. i5 6600 or 7600? Go for the 7600. They should be pretty much the same price, but the 7600 should be slightly better. Me gustaría que seas prueba típica de varios juegos con la... Y estoy haciendo eso actualmente, ¿no? ¿Viste que estoy subiendo videos de la 1050? Sí, estoy subiendo Battlefield, estoy subiendo de todo un poco. Ahora viene Star Wars Battlefront y el Need for Speed. I'll be uploading Star Wars Battlefront on the 1050 2GB and Need for Speed 2015. What's your favorite GPU? Probably the RX 470, the best price performance I had so far. Can a 1050 Ti play Batman Arkham Knight at 60 frames per second? Yes, if you lower it to 900p and on a mix between medium and low, you should be pretty much at 60. But it depends also on how fast your storage is and how fast your CPU is. Oh, it's 4 gigs. Okay, you'll be fine then. 1050 Ti ROG Strix or RX 470? RX 470. Best 1050 Ti value laptop? Hard to tell. There are many out there that I didn't hear of. I would say one that has i5 if you're not rendering, and you should be fine. Gracias, Fede. ¿Cómo andas? ¿Todo bien? Should I upgrade my GTX 950? Yes, to at least an RX 470. I would say that's the minimum upgrade. It will be worth it if you go for a 470 or above. What do you think of Assassin's Creed Origins or As Creed Origins? I don't know. I have to play it myself, but it seems interesting. At least they're going back to older time periods. What are your personal PC specs? i7 4790, GTX 1060, 6GB, 8GB of RAM, an SSD for Photoshop, Premiere, After Effects, all that kind of stuff, and then a 2TB drive for the games. ¿Para cuándo Arkham Knight 1050 te dije 4560? No es necesario, ya lo hice con el i3, 6100 que rinde igual que el 4560 y la 1050 Ti, ya tenés video de eso. Do you think that GT 1030 is good enough for some light gaming? Yes, of course. It should be a little behind the 750 Ti. Do you like my potato? Yes, of course. i3 4th generation good on 1050 for running games 2017? Yes, it should be enough. Will I be okay in Battlefield 1 and or Rainbow Six Siege? On the 1050 2GB? Yeah, sure. Just lower it to medium and you'll get 60s on 1080p. Bro, looks like you have changed your hairstyle. No, it just grow. It just keeps growing and keeps growing. Yeah. I tend to just trim and be bald, but this time I decided since it's winter and I'm cold, it will be better to let it grow. No pun intended. Bro, when the update on Tro will coming up? I don't think so. I have too many requests right now. Best GPU to pair with an i7 2600K, not overclocked. Well, I think a 1060 should be enough. Yeah, it's still a good CPU. Rubius or PewDiePie? PewDiePie. RX 480 4GB or GTX 1060 6GB? GTX 1060 6GB. i7 7700 y una 1060, ¿se puede jugar todos los juegos a 60 FPS? Sí, por ahora no hay problema en 1080p y a veces 1440p. Can I play Minecraft with i7 6700K and GTX 1080 Ti? No, you can't. You have to play on 800 by 600. And maybe you get 30 frames per second. Sarcasm, by the way. Are you use i3 6100 and 1050 Ti? No need. The G4560 runs pretty much the same. That's why I swapped it for the i3. It costs half the price and it performs the same. So no need for an i3 anymore. How is your YouTube income? It's doing awful right now. It's the worst I've been in the entire year. Yeah, Apocalypse is starting to take over the channel. Your cloak is nice, thanks. And that didn't sound dirty at all. 1080 plus i5 or 1070 plus i7? I would say 1070 plus i7, since more games use more CPU all the time. And it's a good balance. A 1080 is overkill. Are you in the future going to do emulators? Yes, of course, emulators are coming soon. Once I can get them running like I like. I have to do many CPUs and many GPUs, so it's kind of hard to decide right now. So yeah. Does free storage improve FPS? Sorry if my question is dumb. It depends. I mean, what matters more is if your hard drive is fast, because some games use your hard drive, stream stuff from the hard drive to load the game. So that sometimes can lead to performance issues if your drive is very, very slow. But usually, if you have like 3 GB free of space, you should be fine. Me gustaría también hacer estudios en español. Sí, a mí me gustaría tener suficiente tiempo para hacer todas esas cosas, pero apenas me da tiempo para lo que estoy haciendo ahora, así que no creo que pase ni en un futuro cercano, ni lejano por ahora. El tiempo es inmanejable. Paladins or Overwatch? Overwatch. Well, I have to try out more Paladins, but Overwatch for me is better so far. But Paladins is free, so I cannot really complain. Sí, 600 watts, 480 y 13100, mientras no sea genérica, vas a estar bien. Thanks, Ninja Blade, I appreciate it. ¿Dónde vivo? En Uruguay. i5 2400 plus 1066 GB bottleneck, or am I good? You should be fine on most games. There are some like GTA 5 that you might drop below 60. But yeah, so far that i5 should be close to my Pentium on most games. Do you find EA E3 conference crunch remotely? Yeah, of course. It was terrible, at least for me. ¿Cuándo testeo de la GT 1030? Cuando llegue, en Uruguay no la venden todavía. ¿Cómo consigues para grabar tantísimos videos al día? Y porque me levanto temprano, me levanto a las 7 de la mañana. Me encantan las ganas que le metes a canal. Gracias, Miguel. Which bottleneck do you think is most severe? 5200 RPM HDD or only 8 gigs of 2133 RAM? Probably the hard drive. 8 gigabytes of RAM at that speed should be fine. And most games, if you have a slow drive, for example Battlefield 1, that will be very noticeable compared to the 8 gigs of RAM. But make sure you're using dual channel. That can be quite annoying on single channel on Battlefield 1. I have AMD FX 8300, but after I play like 2-3 hours, the PC, it's close. I'm not sure if you say it turns off. Maybe the temperatures are too high, or your power supply is not good enough, or there's a failure there. If that's what you mean, that it turns off. Your best Assassin's Creed game? Your best Assassin's Creed game? Yeah, there my pronunciation breaks. I would say Assassin's Creed 2, then Black Flag, and then I prefer not to think about it. What games you testing next? I'm testing Star Wars Battlefront on the 1050 2GB and Need for Speed 2015 on the 1050 2GB. ¿Cómo hablas también inglés? Mucha práctica. Empecé en la escuela, después seguí en el liceo, después seguí por mi cuenta, di exámenes internacionales, di el First Certificate y luego seguí por mi cuenta. Gracias. My games are freezing on my PC for some reason. What are your PC specs? What CPU do you recommend for 60 frames per second 1080 gaming? Well, we're not on 2018 yet, so I don't know. For now, I have no idea. Maybe an i5 should still be enough there. The consoles are still existing, so while they exist, that should be enough. Dude, I always watch the part where you say Santiago and today. It's so soothing. Thank you. Can we play online in Tekken 7 Championship? Yes, you can. But they are having some problems with the multiplayer on PC. I think they are sorted out, but I'm not sure yet. I didn't play online. Intel i5 3570, 12 gigs of RAM, AMD R7 370. What do you think about it? Well, the processor is good enough. The GPU will lag behind the 950 in some games. In some will be very close. So yes, not bad at all. You can play games just fine. Different DDR4 RAMs 2133 works? Yes, it works. So are you advise i3 6100 and 1050 Ti for these prices? I would suggest a G4560 instead of the i3 6100 due to the lower price and pretty much the same performance. So for me it's a no-brainer. ¿P2 gratis en Steam? No, ya no. Ya se agotaron las 5 millones de copias. i5 7400 and 1050 Ti 2GB, good for gaming. There's no 1050 Ti 2GB, but there's a GTX 1050. Maybe you confuse that with the 1050. Yes, it's good for gaming. You can play just fine. FIFA or PES, or PES. FIFA, for now. Is Pentium G3260 plus 1050 Ti good for games like GTA 5? You have a lot of stuttering on open world games with that CPU. It only has 2 cores and 2 threads. And right now the minimum should be 2 cores and 4 threads, like the Pentium G4560 or the i3. So you'll get stuttering, but it will still be a playable game, at least, for the price you pay. Is better G4560 with GTX 1050 Ti or 1060 3GB for PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds or CSGO and Overwatch? Well, I would say for PlayerUnknowns the 1060 and for Overwatch the 1060, but the 1050 Ti is still enough. You'll only notice the lower graphical quality on the 1050 Ti on PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. So if you can just save some money, get the 1050 Ti. ¿Recomendás el PUBG? Estaba pensando en comprarlo. Yo esperaría un poco que le den un poco de mejoras. O sea, se supone que en unos meses va a salir el juego entero. No sé cómo será eso. Yo te recomendaría que esperes los descuentos de Steam que vienen en este mes o el que viene. No estoy seguro si es en una semana. What game you like the most? Hard to tell. I love Dark Souls. I think that's the one I like the most. Can I give you plus rep on your Steam? No thanks. I don't do trading on Steam, so no worries. En estos momentos, ¿qué gráficas están mejor optimizadas? Depende, AMD en DirectX 2 se la está rompiendo y Nvidia en DirectX 11 se la está rompiendo, así que depende. Will a GTX 1070 bottleneck an i5 4460? Yes, but on most games you should be fine. To lower the bottleneck, just crank up the resolution to 1440p using DSR, and you'll be fine. You won't even notice the bottleneck. And there's a fly. I hate them. NBA 2K17? Yeah, maybe. I have to test it on the 1050 Ti, I think, and then on the 1050. ¿Es efectivo comprar un i5 7500 ahora? Sí, o sin un Ryzen 5. Para mí es mejor precio-rendimiento Ryzen 5 1500, o si puedes gastar un poco más en 1600. Rinden bien en juegos y en edición son mucho mejores que los i5. Airplay South Park games? Yes, on Nintendo 64. Not the modern ones. Thanks, Joao Fernández. I appreciate it. O si hablas español, lo aprecio mucho, gracias. Hay una actualización para modo para el procesador. Ya te olvidé. ¿Servirá? No entiendo. No entendí, disculpa. ¿Qué haces con todos los juegos que compras? ¿Los jugás? ¿O son piratas? No, los compro todos. El tema es que Cam me los paga. Ahora, si funcionan con Cam, me los pagan ellos. ¿Crees que los juegos de E3 puedan correr mi 1050 Ti? Sí, probablemente. Should I go for a G4560 for my new build, or just the A8 and A10 processors? The A8 and A10 processors are good if you don't plan on having a GPU, but the G4560 beats them both on games because of the higher single-threaded performance. Far Cry 3 or GTA 5? GTA 5, but I also love Far Cry 3, but GTA 5 has more content. What is your opinion about Ryzen 5 1400? It's great price to performance, it's great for video editing, and it's still enough for gaming. It's similar to an i5, and it's very easy to overclock. So yeah, I would recommend it, and if you have more money, get the Ryzen 5 1600. 2 extra cores, 4 extra threads. I mean, that's a better deal, in my opinion. GTX 1050 or RX 460? GTX 1050. The RX 460... depends on the game. I mean, the RX 560 still has trouble on some games to beat the 1050, so I will get the 1050 or the 560 instead. ¿Cuál modelo de tarjeta de video 1050 Ti realmente vale más la pena? Y yo diría las de MSI o las de VGA de un fan. Y más que eso no recomendaría. My i5 4460 and GTX 1050 Ti can stream, but it's good for 1080p gaming. Yes, that's true. 950 or 1050 Ti? 1050 Ti. Double the VRAM and like 10 FPS more on most games. G4560 or i7 2600, which is better for gaming? Hard to tell. I mean, I will go for the G4560 since most games take advantage of the higher single-threaded performance, but many future games they use the extra cores, so that's pretty much the problem here. Some games don't like 2 cores, even if you have the 4 threads. They still work, but they might stutter a little bit. But on the i7 will be pretty much, I mean, on some games you probably get worse frame rates, but the frame times will be more stable on the i7. It all depends. I mean, I will go for the G4560 since you can upgrade later for a much better CPU than the i7 2700, or I'm sorry, I forgot the name, 2600. So yeah, if you want a better upgrade path, maybe get the Pentium. Do you have opinion about FPS optimizations apps like Game Booster? Yes, I think they are good for low-end PCs, but they don't do much actually. You can do most of that stuff manually. Have you seen the E3? Yes, I saw E3. No, soy de Uruguay, pero estuviste cerca. Hello, Amar El Faumi. I'm sorry, I messed it up. De nada, David. Intel Core i3 4150, 1050 Ti along with 8 gigs of RAM. Well, it depends on the game. I will go with 2 by 4 gigabytes of RAM instead of 8 gigabytes on only one module. Since on Battlefield 1, for example, on multiplayer, you will get a lot of performance drops. Most CPU-intensive games will take advantage of the dual channel there. What do you think about Gigabyte 1066 gigabytes, i5 6500? I think. Yes, I'm back. I don't know what happened there. It just died. Decided to die. So I'm back. Okay, let me see again what I was reading. You're a very good kid. Thank you. Was so broken that I can't even send a super chat over super chat force closed. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Hang on a second. Okay. Disculpad por no explicarme, necesito utilizar la BIOS de una modo para el procesador de 7 gente. Claro, no, vas a necesitar un Skylake. Con un Kaby Lake no vas a poder actualizarla. ¿Cuánto crees que me dure mi 570 Horus con mi i5 7400? No tengo idea. Mientras existan las consolas va a durar bien. Alright. Which E3 2017 game impressed you the most? I would say the new Spider-Man game. I'm very excited for that one. It looks quite good. I need a good Spider-Man game since the PS2. Yeah, those are pretty good actually. Yeah, that's the one I remember the most. And I'm missing something else. Oh yeah, the XCOM 2 DLC. That one I'm looking forward to. Dale, gracias. Salud por allá también, Bruno. Is GTX 750 Ti good for upcoming games? If I want to play them in 30 FPS 1080p, yes, you should be fine. If not, just lower the settings, or just do 900p. They are pretty close overall. Talk to us, do benchmarking later. I already finished a video in Brazil, in South America. Very far away from everything and everyone. Would you play Hellblade? I'm not sure of what that is, but yeah, why not? It's not available for PC, yeah, I know, but I like it anyway. It would be nice if it was for PC, but, well, one can dream. ¿Cuál conferencia me gustó más? La de Ubisoft. La de Ubisoft para mí fue la mejor. What do you think about Gigabyte 1060, i5 6500 and 8 gigs of RAM? I already answered this. I think it's fine. I mean, it should work as intended. 750 Ti for new games? What'd you say? Yes, I always test new games on the 750 Ti. It works fine. Sometimes you need to lower settings and resolution, but still totally playable. Not really much of an issue. What's your opinion about Star Wars Battlefront 2? I don't know. I just want the campaign to be good. That's all I want. The multiplayer, I don't really care much about. Xbox One X or PS4 Pro? Probably Xbox One X if you are just taking advantage of the performance and resolution and all that kind of stuff. But for the games, probably the PS4 Pro. It has more exclusives. I mean, I don't see a reason to get an Xbox One X if I can build a PC. I mean, I can play even Counter-Strike 1.6 on Xbox One X. I cannot even play Battlefield 3, but on my PC I can. We have Batman series that fuck Spider-Man. Yeah, but I like Spider-Man more, personally. I would like the game to be on PC. I don't have a Bruce Wayne voice, I'm sorry. I bought a Ryzen 7 1700 and I have no money left. Yeah, been there, done that. It would be nice to have one of those, but I will be broke too. Can I run GTA 5 in 4 GB of RAM, i3, but what GPU? If you don't have a dedicated graphics card, it will be kinda difficult. Vi un poco decepcionante el E3, me pareció poco mostraron. Sí, estoy de acuerdo, mostraron pocas cosas nuevas. Do you have a wife? Do you have children? No, I don't. But I have a girlfriend. ¿Me recomiendas la Nvidia 1050 Ti para mi 54440? Sí, por supuesto. Puedes poner una 1060 ahí si querés y te va bien. What the hell, he is like 20 years old. Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's kind of hilarious, actually. Test, ignore. I don't ignore. AMD A10, 7870K, AVGA, GTX 1050, my games are freezing. Oh, probably the A10 is the problem there. It depends on the game, of course. I mean, if you're talking about Battlefield 1 multiplayer, I can understand. But how much RAM do you have? And make sure that it's on dual channel, if you have 8 gigs, for example. Okay, nothing important. And they say you pick up... Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Rip stream again? No, it's not dead. I can see it. You cannot trick me. I think. Or is it dead? Damn it, man. I'm not sure if it's dead or not. No, it's not dead. Yeah, it's lagging for some people. I'm not sure what's going on. But according to this, the stream is fine. Maybe YouTube is just... yeah. Yeah, I'll fix it. Close the stream and come back. I'm not sure what YouTube is doing actually with the live stream. So I just closed it and opened it again. Maybe that fixes it. Not sure what's going on. I hate when YouTube just breaks without a reason. I think I'm back. I'm not sure. Let me check something out. Sorry, guys. Yeah, it should be fine. Not sure what's going on, but my OBS is fine. Is it true? Oh no, I don't. But I don't like you either. Yo sí que atrás tengo una GT 240 y un Athlon por 270. Sí, solía pasar. Yo también tenía ese problema, pero tenía un Celeron. Hace muchos años. GTX 1050 Ti, Asus Strix 4GB, G4600. Yes, you can play just fine. Yeah, no issues. On some games you might have some bottleneck, but still playable. Have an i3 6100, 8GB of RAM, GTX 970, no matter what settings, I can hit 60 frames per second in Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Yeah, that's right. I mean, 2 cores and 4 threads. I mean, even with my i7 4790, I am unable to hit 60s on Assassin's Creed Syndicate consistently. It's all over the place. I mean, it just uses a lot of CPU. So don't worry, 43 frames per second is fine for that CPU. It's even more than I expect compared to what I got. Do you recommend a 1TB SSD? Yes, if you can afford it, go for it. AMD A10, again, I already answered that. Well, yeah, I think the A10 is the reason of the freezes. Other than that, maybe you don't have enough RAM, or maybe you don't just need to make a clean Windows install. But I just think that is the A10. That should be the issue. What do you think about a GTX 1066GB, i5 7400, 1x8GB, 2133 MHz RAM? It's fine, but I will try to add another stick of 8GB of RAM to have dual channel. That will help on Battlefield 1 multiplayer, for example, or Just Cause 3. But other than that, it's fine. Sí, i5 4440, sí. Con la 1050 Ti no está mal. O sea, incluso puedes poner una 1060 tranquilamente ahí. Disculpa, sí, es porque se trancó el stream. Debe ser por eso. A-Mate wanted to ask, which video game is your all-time favorite? Probably Dark Souls 1 and Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. I'm sorry, Chaos Theory. Yeah, that Splinter Cell is kind of awesome. Do you have a wife, job, children? Just a girlfriend. I don't plan on getting anything else at the moment. I'm only 21 years old. Thank you. I just need to get 40 more, then I can afford it. Awesome. What GPU would you pair with an i5 4590? Probably a 1060 or an RX 470. Yeah, the R gets stuck. It's terrible. Useless GTA 5. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Kinda weird, if you ask me. The i3 4130, is it a good CPU? Yes, it's still enough. I mean, it should be a little worse than the Pentium G4560, but still good enough. Pentium G4600, 1050 Ti, 4GB, 8GB of RAM. Future-proof. I hate that word. I mean, you cannot really know if it will last longer. It should be enough for now. Do you have a Steam group? Yes, you can find it in the About section in my channel. I'm 30 minutes late for the party. Yes, you are. And you have 30 minutes to ask me anything you want. How's life? It's doing quite well, actually, right now. I just had a test of Adobe After Effects, and it went great. I had to put a tattoo on a person that was moving. I had to do some tracking there, and I also had to change a background without a green screen. Quite fun. Yeah, it's going fine. Thank you. Okay, i3 7100 versus i3 6100. The 7100 will be better, but I think that i3s don't make more sense right now that the Pentium G4560 exists. It performs pretty similar, plus it's way cheaper. I mean, I would try the faster Pentiums from the Kaby Lake lineup. ¿Crees que un G4560 durará tiempo? Tengo un G4400. Sí, por ahora aguanta lo más bien, es como un i3. Using a 750 Ti planning to upgrade to a 1050 Ti, is it worth it? Yes, on some games you will be getting twice the performance, so yeah, quite a good upgrade from a 750 Ti. GTX 1060 3GB or RX... Oh, es en español. 1060 3GB o 470 4GB. Y yo iría por la 470. La 480 consume un poco más, pero rinde un poco mejor al mismo tiempo. Do some review on RX 480. I'm not sure yet. The RX 480 is not getting good views yet. Will be there for an RX 470 570. Yes, I'll be doing that later on if I have time. I tend to avoid that card right now since it's not getting good enough views, and I have to manage my time good enough, so it's worth making videos for that card. Since sometimes I struggle to get 1,000 views, while on the 1050 I get 2,000 or 3,000. So sometimes I have to balance my time on the cards that get more views. Sorry, but I have to do what I can with that. What is the best i5 to get? What's the best i5 to get? I would say i5 7400 if possible. If you're talking about Kaby Lake i5s. LeBron James. LeBron, my bro. Does CPU matter for rendering? Yes. I mean, on Adobe Premiere, you render using your CPU or your GPU. You can choose there. But if you're doing After Effects or something like that uses a lot of CPU, you probably want to get a good CPU. I mean, for editing, a CPU is essential. G4560, GTX 1060, 3GB bottleneck? Yes, but you can still play games just fine. Just don't expect 60 frames per second on all the games. Open world games tend to use a lot of CPU. Do you like Splinter Cell Blacklist? Yes, I finished it on Perfectionist. That's how much I like that game. It's a lot of fun, yeah. ¿De dónde eres? Yo soy de Uruguay. I am planning to get a new 1070, so which brand would be better in your opinion for gaming? Probably the MSI Gaming X version or the Asus Strix version that has three fans. Yeah, that should be enough to cool that card. ¿Qué es lo más importante al limpiar la PC? Y yo diría, asegúrate de que no haya mucho polvo arriba de la tarjeta de video y el ventilador del procesador, así los ventiladores giran y corre aire. Eso sería lo más importante. Watching it 240p in my 144p monitor. What the fuck is wrong with YouTube? Yeah, I agree. What's your opinion on pineapple on pizza? Well, I think that I was thinking that it was awful, but when I tried it, it was quite refreshing, actually. Kind of interesting. I wasn't expecting to like it. How long do you think will 750 Ti will be able to last with upcoming games? I'm not sure. I mean, as long as PS4 and Xbox One, the base models exist, the 750 Ti should still be enough. That's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. Are you excited for Far Cry 5? Yes, and I'm excited that it's not taking itself seriously. I mean, I think I saw a dog just giving you a weapon or something like that. Kind of weird. I like that. Because Far Cry is... I don't know. If it's goofy, I'm fine with it. Time is 15:53 in Portugal. No, it's not Portugal here. It's Uruguay. Bro, try coming live at least one time in a month. I try, but it's not easy, man. I have to do daily videos. I have to go to the gym. I have to go to class. I have to study. It's not easy to put a live stream in the middle. Quite difficult. What is the main requirements for upcoming games? I would say at least a G4560, at least a GTX 750 Ti, and at least 8 GB of RAM. That will be my minimum for everything. As long as the last gen, well, the base PS4 and Xbox One exist. I mean, as long as those exist, that should be my base. Gigabyte H110M S2 Movo with G4560, is it good? Yes, you'll be fine. I have an H110 motherboard and I use it on one i5, the i5 7400, and it runs fine, no issues whatsoever. Assassin's Creed Origins opinion. I think it's interesting the time of history that they chose, but I hope that it does something different to other Assassin's Creed games. It looked kinda weird in some ways, and I found kinda hilarious that they were using a drone there, which is a bird, but it's an eagle, but it's a drone. You cannot change that. It's just a drone. Makes the game too easy, in my opinion. I think that they just shouldn't have done that. Which ones? Which ones, Angel Navarro? Which ones? Will 1050 Ti bottleneck i3 6098p? You should be fine. What do you study? I mean, how you benchmark your books? Does it reach 60 frames per second? Well, it depends. If I get a 60 Hz book, usually it does. But sometimes it's kind of laggy and I have to go to sleep. It's kind of, my brain breaks with 30 Hz books. Which budget power supply will you recommend? I would say the EVGA 430 watt 80 plus white power supply. That one is usually pretty cheap, and it's the one I use for the 1050 Ti, the 1060, all that kind of stuff, and it works fine, and it's quite cheap. G4560 and 1050 Ti best for budget gaming? Yes and no. You can also get an RX 470 if you have a little extra money, and you can force 1440p on some games. Sí, me pareció un poco interesante el E3 a mí también. Esperaba más cosas nuevas. Hello, I got a GTX 750 Ti running at stock speed with max temperature 75°C. Is it safe to overclock it? I mean, it's a high temperature, but you can try. If it goes over 75 to 80 degrees Celsius, just reset the overclock and don't overclock it. Core i3 2100 with GTX 1050. Bottleneck? Yes, on most games, on most open world games it should, since that CPU is quite old, but you can still play over 30 frames per second on most games. But yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it. How old are you? I'm 21 years old. Bro, does the i5 can keep pace with 1070 or I need i7? It depends on which i5. If you're talking of an i5 6600 or a 7600, you should be fine. I mean, it depends on the game, but for 60 frames per second, it's more than enough. Is that your house? No, it's my room, which is in my house, which is in my country. Which one sponsors you? Cam sponsors me, which is a part of NCXT. I'm going to build a new system, Skylake or Ryzen, and why? Well, it depends on which Skylake and which Ryzen. I mean, I will go for Ryzen just because it's close to i5 on gaming, so the i5 is a little above Ryzen on gaming, but Ryzen on rendering and video editing is like 5 steps above at the same price. So if you're fine with getting a little less FPS, but getting much better performance on video editing, I would say Ryzen 5 is much better value. Where are you from? I'm from Uruguay. No, it's not my own house. This is my family's house. Your experience with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds? Any funny story with it? Just while live streaming with you guys that I won. That was kind of weird. ¿Cuánto tiempo crees que durará la PC con G4560, 1050 Ti, 8 GB de RAM? Imposible saber. Yo digo, mientras las consolas existan, las básicas Play 4 y Xbox One, yo creo que van a durar más bien las las partes esas. Besides Corsair, EVGA, Cooler Master, what other PSU brand do you recommend? Thermaltake, maybe. Yeah, it depends, but Thermaltake, usually, I had a Thermaltake power supply and it was quite good. Well, other than that, I don't know many. Maybe Aerocool, maybe. I love Cam, the software and CXT has treated me well for my case, but having it open with the overlay causes many games to crash. Which games exactly? Because I had an issue where I have to open the game and then launch Cam while the game is minimized. But other than that, my games didn't crash. Which games are you talking about? Some games don't work due to easy anti-cheat or battle eye. There it might crash, but other than that, it was fine. What is the best cheap graphics card for gaming? It depends on your budget. I would say a 1050, 2GB is not bad, but the VRAM is quite low. So if you can afford a 1050 Ti or RX 470, that would be the best value. I love your videos, but please tell me is how 1050 Ti performance with G4560. I'm not sure what that means, but I mean it runs fine. You can see it on all my videos. I use it every day and it works fine. ¿Cómo saldría el i3 7100 con la 1050 Ti? Sería un poco mejor que el Pentium, pero no te lo recomiendo. Estarías gastando mucho más por un poquito más de rendimiento. Yo ahorraría para un i5 o un Ryzen 5. Bro, what subject are you studying? Computer engineering. No, I'm studying video editing. I wanted to work on TV or on movies, so I started studying After Effects, Premiere Pro, 3D, how to add 3D stuff into it. It's kind of interesting. I always wanted to do that, so I'm doing that at the moment. Should I buy a GTX 1060 now or wait for new GTX? Well, probably the new cards will be next year, I think, on 2018, half 2018. So if you cannot wait, I'll get a 1060, but you can always wait and get something better. There's no other way than that. What? Oh, the guy that disturbed you with opening IO Shield is here. Yeah, how surprising. I was expecting you here for some reason. Maybe Twitter. ¿Cómo mis tricks cargan fuerza con ese en alto a más de 30 FPS? En alto capaz que no, capaz que en medio, pero no creo que tenga algo malo. Super chat is broken. Let me check it out. 1 second. I'll give it a second chance. I'm so sorry. Yeah, sometimes YouTube likes to break. It's beautiful. It's like seeing a car crashing in slow motion. You know it's broken, you know all that stuff, but you still watch it. Let me check it out. Yeah, it's enabled. It shouldn't be broken, but I'll switch it on again. I'll switch it off. Come on, disable, and I enable it again. Okay, refresh the page and try again if you want to use Super Chat. Maybe now it works. Is G2A a trusted website? It depends. I mean, G2A has a very bad reputation and they are kind of shady, so I prefer to avoid them. I was going to get a partnership with them since I know someone that could get me a partnership with them. But then after all the comments of people telling me what they did and what they do, I was kind of, I don't know if I want to work with them. So yeah, I mean for buying stuff, maybe, yeah, I used to buy there. I didn't have any problems, but some people do, and I wouldn't trust it that much. They are kind of shady. It's still worth the G3258. Yes, if you overclock it, it should be fine, but many games, open world precisely, due to the 2 cores and 2 threads instead of 4 threads, can make, well, the game stutter a lot due to, it doesn't matter there if you overclock it, but you can still play games with that if you just want to get something to get a PC going. How do you find inspiration whenever you feel low? I like to smile. It's kind of weird. I look people smiling on Google, and I just watch that and I laugh. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I would say it's weird, but it works. You're the only guy I can chat for. I'm sorry, I can chat with for hours. Oh, thank you. Do I have to put my hard disk in microwave to overclock my CD driver? Yes, but make sure you put it at least half an hour and then you put it on the fridge. And if it explodes, well, you have to get a new one because that one has had a failure or something. Best website to download free PC games? I don't know any anymore since, well, I don't do that anymore. Let me think. No, I think they're all dead right now since Kick-Ass Torrents died, I think. So I don't know any other one. That was the one I used when I didn't buy games in the past. 1080p 60 frames per second ultra Vera CPU GPU. I would say CPU, a Ryzen 5, one of the Ryzen 5s, or a Kaby Lake i5 for 60 FPS, and for ultra the GPU would need to be at least a 1060 or a 1070. A 1070 will get ultra everything, but a 1060 can do most of the time ultra. Sometimes it can't, but it will be more budget friendly. I have a 768p monitor. Is it worth it to upgrade to a 1080p monitor? Well, a 1080p monitor usually is more crisp, so just if you want to get a bigger monitor, yes, it's worth it. If the size of your monitor is enough for you, I wouldn't change. You just will notice a difference if the monitor is bigger. Pentium G4600 again. Yeah, you can play just fine. And yeah, there's a Steam group. You can find it in the About section on my channel. Which smartphone do you have? I have an Asus Zenfone 2 Laser. Yeah. It's quite good actually. It's Android, and I installed a custom firmware that I found, and it now doesn't kill my battery just by turning it on. What smartphone do you use? What's your favorite tech tubers? Well, I have many favorite tech tubers. I like Digital Foundry, I like Linus Tech Tips, Jace2Cents, Austin Evans. What else? Kyle from Bitwit, but I liked it when it was called Awesome Sauce Network. I watch Awesome Hardware. That live stream is quite good. Yeah, that's pretty much what I like. PC requirements for 60 FPS on any upcoming games. Impossible to know. There's no way in hell you will know that without the games released and tested. Will my PC run Battlefront 2? Sorry, I made a mistake. Which PC? Send me your specs. Gracias, Brian. I appreciate it. Good cheap CPUs. G4560. Thanks for streaming, no problem. Zen UI is shit. Yeah, I agree. Zen UI is terrible. No, I don't drop things like Linus. I don't have enough money to do so. Best card for 720p high medium, GTX 750 Ti or GT 1030. No, a 750 Ti. 750 Ti. The 1030 has a very narrow bus. So yeah, 750 Ti used would be better. Dealing with someone, yeah, my brother and my parents. ¿Cuál es el mejor? Una 7850 o una 750 Ti. La verdad que no tengo idea. Creo que la 7850 gana la mayoría de las veces. Should I take MSI Armor RX 580 4GB or GameWare GTX 1060 6GB? GTX 1060 6GB. You get more VRAM. That's very important. And well, most RTX 11 games will run better. What do you mean by dropping? Dropping. That's dropping. Los specs están arriba. Dale, después cuando aparezca de vuelta lo miro. Gracias. Is GTX 1050 Ti future-proof? What's your opinion? I don't think it's future-proof, but nothing is future-proof actually. But an RX 470 will be more future-proof since it performs better than a 1050 Ti. But a 1050 Ti performs very similar to a 960. So I'm not sure of what future-proof means for most people. Do you play Pokemon Go? No, I never played Pokemon Go. I mean, I did, but it was like 2 days and I got bored very quickly. No problem. GTX 750 Ti versus RX 460 versus RX 560. The RX 460 and 560 usually run better than the 750 Ti, sometimes the same if the game is optimized for Nvidia. But the 560 will be better than all those three, since the RX 560 is pretty much an unlocked RX 460. I just subscribed. Thank you. Welcome to the channel. Good to see you. Hello, Egypt. Stream games to Twitch if you have time. I cannot. I'm sorry. I don't have enough time. I barely have time to make this stream, but I wanted to do it since I enjoy it a lot and I can talk to you guys. But yeah, I'm sorry, Twitch, I cannot do it. A lot of people watch this below 720p resolution. So on Twitch, they won't be able to lower the quality since I'm not a Twitch streamer or Twitch partner. So that will be kind of awful for them since they wouldn't be able to watch. Are you a gaming addict? I used to be. Now I can control myself. When's GTA 6 coming? I don't know. Ask Rockstar Games. I hate the word future-proof. Yeah, me too. It's kind of impossible to predict everything. ¿Crees que la 970 y el i7 4790K es una buena combinación para nuevos juegos? Sí, por supuesto. Los 3.5 GB de video usables, por así decirlo, rápidos de la 970 te van a limitar un poco, pero todavía se puede jugarlo más bien. Su PC es i3 4150 GTX 1060. Sí, yo no creo que tenga ningún problema. No me acuerdo de su nombre, ese es el problema. Ahora no puedo responderle. Pero muchas gracias, Jesús, por decirlo. ¿Cómo se escribe? ¿Yendo o yendo? Con Y se escribe. Is the i5 6500 better than the i5 7500? No, it's a little slower, but they are pretty much the same. I'm watching at 1440p. Sometimes it hits 240p. Awesome. My current config is Intel Pentium G2020, 8 gigs of RAM. I'm going to buy a 1050 Ti. Can I play games with this config? Yes, but many games due to the dual-core CPU. It has only 2 cores and 2 threads. Due to that, you won't be able to play smoothly some open world games, since, for example, GTA 5, when you're moving fast through the map, you might see your car going like this, stopping and going again. It's like, yeah, it cannot maintain consistently the frames. It will just lower very fast, but it will be still playable. I mean, if you're not moving fast through the map. El disipador HyperX 212X es mejor que la versión Evo. La verdad que no tengo idea porque no los tengo. Si los miro lado a lado podría saber. Pero ambos son muy buenos según las reviews que estuve viendo. Así que no me complicaría. Sí, obvio, contesto muchas pelotudeces por día. Por eso respondo siempre. Is it worth to get the i5's 2400? Yes, if you get it used, it should be just fine. You can find it very cheap on eBay. Is the Arkham series dead? I don't think so. It's too popular to be dead. Is a 4GB GTX 960 still a good graphics card? Yes, it should be close to my 1050 Ti. Hi, Santiago Garcia. How are you doing? Who is Bruce? G4560 or i3 6100? G4560 is way better price performance, but the performance is like 2 to 3 FPS more than the i3, but it costs half of it sometimes. Do you like traveling? It depends. Sometimes, most of the time I don't, because I go to a place where there's a beach and I don't really like going to the beach all the time, because I like winter. I like being cold. So on summer it's like I cannot take off my skin, so the heat kills me. ¿Qué juego estoy jugando? Buena pregunta. Payday 2 con un amigo estoy jugando. Bruce, Batman Triangle. Batman Illuminati. Do you plan to do console gaming videos in the future? No, I don't. Probably emulators, but consoles itself, consoles themselves not, since I cannot see the performance in consoles. If I could, I would, but I cannot see the frame rates. I have played GTA 5 on Pentium G 2030 paired with a 1050 Ti. Nice, you run it at 60 frames per second. I'm not sure on how you did that consistently, since even on my i3 at 60 frames per second it has issues. But yeah. Your voice is always cold, please talk in a hot voice. I'm not sure what that means, but maybe warm voice? No, I cannot do that. Yeah, hello everyone. That's pretty much my classics, yeah. Yeah, what the hell? What are you suggesting, Sahendra? And I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. Kinda difficult. Is the Ryzen 5 1500X Plus 1050 Ti good for 1080p gaming? Yes, you should be able to get 60 frames per second if the CPU is the bottleneck, of course. But yeah, not bad at all. I would pair it with an RX 470 if I could, if you can afford it. Hello, my i3 4150, 8 gigs of RAM, 450 watt power supply with GPU is good for moderate gaming. I would say a 1050 Ti or 1052 gigabytes too. If you can afford a 1050 Ti, go for it. Mi 750 Ti y mi 3 ya cargaron a altos el Forza Horizon 3. ¿Por qué si pasara? No entiendo, o sea, vos decís que funcionó, pero los requisitos son más altos que lo que pide. O sea, tenés requisitos más bajos que el juego, pero te sorprendió que funcionara. No te sorprendas, los requisitos siempre son cualquiera. Es puro marketing los requisitos. Do you think a gaming laptop is good for college? Yes. I mean, I don't know how college is on other countries, but here we stay at home and college is like 30 minutes away. But if you're going to college, I don't know, and you stay in college and live in college, probably yes. Now you can get pretty good gaming laptops that have i7 plus 1050 Ti, that they are good for gaming, and you can do a lot of stuff there too. Yeah, he just keep copying and pasting. Maybe I'll just, yeah. Let me put in a timeout. There we go. Just 300 seconds. He will be back. What's the best brand for the 1050 Ti? I would say EVGA or MSI, but there should be better ones out there. I'm not sure. I just tried the MSI version and the EVGA version. So yeah. I mean, don't worry, it's the same GPU. The cooling is quite good. The card doesn't overheat, so not much to worry about. Sí, la tortura que llevará ese procesador, sí, la verdad. i3 7100 con una 1070, sí, poner 1440p. Pero varios juegos no van a llegar a 60. Juegos muy mundo abierto. Not sure. ¿Qué tal el Intel i5 4690K? Sí, no está mal. Le puedes hacer overclock incluso y rinde mejor que el G4560. Puedes llegar a 60 FPS en varios juegos. Asegúrate de poner el RAM en dual channel. How Microsoft Surface laptop for gaming? No, Microsoft Surface... Well, they usually... I saw some videos with the Microsoft Surface laptop working on games. And it was like running integrated graphics. So yeah, if you meant that, yeah, you can play some light gaming. Linus just uploaded a clickbait video. What a surprise. Do you like tech source? No, I don't. I was on Reddit the time he did a giveaway, and he didn't give the prize to the winner, and the winner was complaining on Reddit because he didn't get his PC. So no, I'm not sure what to think about it. But whatever. Can G4560 handle 1060 6GB? Yes, I made a video about it. You can find it on my channel. It's called G4560 paired with a GTX 1060 6GB. Is it worth it, or is it enough for 60 FPS? I was it. Sorry. Something like that. I'm talking English mixed with Spanish. It's kind of hilarious actually. Yeah, you can find it just fine. How old are you? I'm 21 years old. It's midnight here. Here is It's quite early here. It's the afternoon. ¿Cuál tarjeta es la que más usás y cuál es su precio? Uso la 1060 y la 480 más. Y en mi país, acá en Uruguay, salen como $400. Me quiero matar, o sea. Hey, can you please try to say my name? No, I don't want to screw it up. GT 740 plus G2020 versus PS3. Yeah, you beat a PS3 without an issue. Is Dell 7567 good? 1050 Ti and i7 7700 HQ. Yes, of course. You can play games just fine. Even better than me sometimes. Can I have some money for Ryzen 5 1600? No, can I? I mean, it would be nice to have, because I cannot afford it. Theo Joe is kinda dickbat, but funny. Yeah, I agree. What language are you speaking? A mix of English and Spanish. They call it Spanglish or whatever. Yeah, it's kind of a mess. Yeah, my switch from English to Spanish sometimes breaks. It's like the switch is not working. What is the best 1080p monitor for under $200? Well, it depends on where you live, but the monitor I'm using, sorry, the LG, is an LG IPS panel, 5 milliseconds response time, 60 Hz. It was around $200 here in my country. In my country, everything is expensive, so for me, this is very cheap. But yeah, that one is quite good. Are PCs still console killers? Yes, it depends. Well, it depends on price, a lot of stuff. Use jailbroken PS3 for 120, good deal. If it works and you can still put pirate games there, probably yes, you can play a lot of stuff. And it will be cheaper than that PC you mentioned. Do you see my name as a future great YouTuber? It's the only name like this. I mean, people will probably confuse you with a Sony Sony thing. I'm not sure what was the name. Something with greatness at the end. Oh yeah, greatness awaits PlayStation. That's what I think when I see your name. I'm sorry. So maybe they think you're a Sony fanboy or something. How much have you earned still now? Not sure what that means, but I don't know. I don't keep track of that, of how much I earned. I just keep buying new games and new stuff. PC parts is so expensive in India. Yeah, that's because you're not in my country. In my country, it's even more expensive than India. What is your job, if you don't mind me sharing? My job is this right now, actually. Doing YouTube is my job right now. Yeah. And because I'm studying, I mean, I used to have a job to pay for the games on the channel, but then the games paid by themselves by just doing videos. So yeah, this is pretty much my job now. Where are you from? Seems like you have a specific accent. Yeah, I'm from Uruguay. I'm from South America. I speak Spanish. I'll let you a sample right now. Hablo español. No hablo mucho inglés. Bueno, sí, hablo inglés porque tiene mi canal de YouTube, pero hablo español. That's what Spanish sounds like. I guess I do need a name change. Maybe, yeah, think about it. Something simple that can be remembered easily. Why the Xbox One dashboard is slow? Not sure. Try to clean the cache of the console. It has an option to clean that, as I heard on an article somewhere. Is upgrading to 1050 Ti from 750 Ti worth it? Yes, it is. It's sometimes double the performance, so yeah. Alright, Subhag Jane. It was terrible, I'm so sure. Hello everyone, I'm Santiago. Yeah, that's how you say it. Santiago is how you say it in Spanish. But people don't know. People just think that English or not Spanish is the only way of pronouncing my name. Your English is very good to be Spanish. Coño. Gracias. Thank you. Danke. Most of your subs are Indians. Yes, they are. I see it in my analytics. Well, most of my subs are, yeah, Indians and what was the other? Brazilians, people from the USA, for what I could see. Give me your headphone. Sure. Did you get it? What's the best brand for 1050 Ti? I would say EVGA, MSI, they're all good. I mean, MSI, EVGA, Asus, I'm forgetting some. But yeah, they're all fine so far. Running Half-Life 3, 8K, 500 frames per second on Intel HD. Maybe. By the time that Half-Life 3 releases, 8K will be mainstream, probably. The Pentium G4560 processor heat up a lot? No, not at all. It's always below 70 degrees Celsius. So even with stock cooler. So yeah, nothing to worry about. What is your favorite video game? Dark Souls 1 and Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. Muy pocas personas, ¿no? Déjame ver. El tema ya está por terminar el coso en vivo. 54. Eso no me parece poco. Working process. Zotac? Yeah, Zotac is usually good for what I could hear right now. Right now is good. How hot will Pentium G4600 run with stock cooler? You should be under 65 degrees Celsius. What headphones are you using and are they good? They are, what was the name of this? HyperX Cloud X. I'm sorry, HyperX Cloud 2. HyperX Cloud 2. They are very comfortable. Up here they have some dampening materials, and this is memory foam, so I can use it for 12 hours straight and I don't have an issue. My head doesn't hurt and they sound good. Just look at this. So yeah, they are very, very comfortable with the memory foam. Can you start uploading walkthroughs on new upcoming games? No, I can't. I don't have time. I only have time for what I'm doing right now. GT 1030 or RX 550? Probably GT 1030. I saw better performance on that on videos. I wish you upload walkthrough of games. Yeah, me too, but I don't have time. Yeah, 1 hour. It's done. I'm done with this. I will just answer 2 more questions and I'll be gone. Sorry, guys. You're funny. Yeah, so funny. I'm crying on how funny I am. FX series is dead, bro. Well, it depends. If you get it used and very cheap and you overclock it, it's not bad at all. Can you speak French a little bit? I don't know how to I don't know how to speak French. Croissant for... I'm sorry, I cannot do it. What is it? It's the temporal files. That if you delete that, you usually get some space, but temporal files for programs. How many GPUs do you have? 6. 1050 Ti, 1050, 750 Ti, RX 470, RX 480. I'm missing one. I'm missing. Oh, the 1060. Yeah, the 1060. Best game for me 3. Hard to tell. The ones I liked the most were the new Spider-Man game that it should be on PC, but it won't be, and the expansion for XCOM 2. Well, gotta go. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you next time. Muchas gracias a todos por mirar. Nos vemos en la próxima. Chao.